Hi, Dr. J here, and the next couple of videos that I alluded to last week, we're going to be discussing our role of health and relationships. Last week we discussed the role that you have with the relationship with yourself and how you speak to yourself and how you think about yourself. This week, our focus is going to be on the relationships we have with our spouses or our partners or our loved ones. And what I want to do with everyone here today is I want to share with you an exercise that myself and my wife Whitney and I have done for a number of years. And it helps to really clarify really what's important in the value system of your spouse. And then when you understand those things that are important, you can really help communicate to them in an appropriate way. And I'll give you some real life examples of how this has helped us out personally. But first, let me just talk about the exercise. The exercise is called needs, wants, likes. Okay, needs, wants, likes. And what you do is you end up, you yourself, so in this instance, me, Jay, writes down what my needs are. And by needs, we're going to define them as non-negotiable, things that you cannot compromise on in any way, shape, or form. So there's a couple of scenarios that for me, my needs were a strong, congruent family, chemically, physically, emotionally, spiritually, even financially. Non-negotiable, that's something we're going to be doing. An ongoing spiritual and personal growth, and to help others. Those are non-negotiable. Now, when I asked my wife to do this and write those down, she wrote, some of hers were an open communication with me, lead our family by core values, and what she calls order in her personal space. After you write down your needs, you then write down your wants. And wants are things that mean a lot to you, but not necessarily define you as a human being. These are more flexible than your needs. So our wants are, one of my wants is to be debt-free, to do challenging events, whether it be for physical events or some spiritual or emotional retreats, things that push me. And then an abundant lifestyle, to enjoy nicer things in life is a want that I have, but doesn't necessarily define me. Now, my wife put down educational and experiences, high levels of education and really cool experiences for our kids. New physical challenges for herself as well, and then personal space was very important for her on the want category. And the last one you do is likes. Now, likes is defined as things that are fun, stuff. These items are neat to have, but you absolutely can live without them as well. And so for my likes, I like gadgets and gear. Like, I'm a gear guy, so whether my hobbies are golf or doing triathlons or running, I like all the fun gear that goes with it to measure distances and all that jazz. I like clothes. Those are some fun things that I like to have that make me feel good, but they're not necessarily necessary in any way, shape, or form, but again, I enjoy them. Likes for my wife were gym memberships and even vacations. All right, so why do I share all this with you? The reason I'm sharing this with you is when you understand where your partner is, where their values are on this paradigm, it's easier for you to communicate to them and help honor those things. And further, when your partner understands what's important to you, they can better communicate and help support you on that journey. And here's an example. I go right here, order in personal space. And it's very important for my wife. And hopefully she doesn't get mad for me saying this, but she loves things to be very clean and very orderly. And so I didn't realize how much of a need it was for her. And what I found is that she would always be cleaning the refrigerator door or the countertops, or always wanting the trash to be taken out as soon as it was filled up. And I would get annoyed with that. And it caused us to have some arguments or some bickering back and forth until we did this exercise. And I realized that space cleanliness for her really was very high in her value system, because it allowed her to operate with a clear head and a clear heart for our family. And so once I understood that, I stopped getting upset by it, and I started finding ways I could help honor and support her on that. And even at times, if it's just like, oh, all right, babe, go ahead and keep on cleaning or keep on wiping things down, that's what makes her feel good. So instead of me getting angry about it, I let her be and let her do it. Now, further, when we first got together, it was really important for her to understand, for me to be very financially congruent. And what I mean by that is, seeing different financial challenges growing up within my own family, I didn't want to repeat those things. And so as our relationship started to evolve, and even as our marriage was very early on, that was something that we had contention with, was my my forthcoming or my desire to always make sure we were living well below our means. And when she understood, again, that was a core aspect of my life, it stopped becoming friction. And it started becoming ways that she could understand that was really important, because once I had that, I knew I could be the father and the husband and the leader I needed to be moving forward. Now, this is going to be different for all of you. Your needs, your wants, your likes, and that of your partners is going to be different. So just use the concept of understanding what's a non-negotiable, what's really important, and also what's the fun stuff that you and your spouse or your partner really want. When you understand that, it's easier for you to communicate to them in their values as opposed to always pushing only with your values. Again, hopefully this exercise and hopefully some new thoughts here today that I share can bless you, bless your marriage, bless your relationships. And until I see you next time, have a wonderful day and a blessed week.